Okay, children, today we will do this chapter 3 of your fiction book, fiction literature book, and that is The Railway Children. Now, today we go to the chapter 3, and like chapter 1 and chapter 2, first of all, we'll do the comprehension part of it. Put the sentences in the correct order, write the number 1 to 7 in the boxes. Now, if you remember that when we read this, there was a sequence of actions that was taking place. That one thing was happening, then another, then another. So, if we want to enjoy the story, then we have to understand the sequence. So, we'll see that what was the sequence of actions. The children wrote a letter to the old gentleman. Mother fell ill. The children decided to wave the green dragon every day. The children met Perks and Porter. The children help up a sign for the old gentleman to see. Mother became well again. The old gentleman sent them some things to the three chimneys. So first of all, what happened? First of all, what happened was the children decided to wave the green dragon every day. Then the children met Perk and Porter, and then their mother fell ill, and then the children held up a sign for the old gentleman to see, and then the children wrote a letter to the old gentleman, and then the old gentleman sent some things to the three chimneys, and at last mother became well again, right? So this was the sequence of action, and we have to write this sequence of action eh, the way it happened, right? The next thing is choose the correct answer. The station master or the Perks and Porters gave the children some oranges. If you remember, the station master gave them oranges, right? So this we will click right to this. Mrs. Winnie or Dr. Forrest came to the three chimneys to examine the mother. So, who came to see there's a hint also that uh, a doctor came to see their see and examine their mother. So it was Dr. Forrest, right? Bobby or Peter wrote a letter to the old gentleman. Bobby wrote a letter to the gentleman, right? And then Bobby or the Phyllis gave the letter to the old gentleman. Phyllis gave the letter to the old gentleman, and then the children knew or didn't know the old gentleman's name. They didn't know their the name of old gentleman. Then we come to the vocabulary part. Complete the following sentences using the prepositions in the box. There are some prepositions from, by, on, away, to, up, and out. So we have to use these, we have to fill in the blanks by using these propositions. Paula was upset, dash the things her friend told her. Paula was upset by the things her friends told her. Be careful, Karen. Keep away from the fire. Right? Keep away from the fire. This is the most appropriate preposition for this blank. Right? Then is please hold on. Hold up your number. Sorry, hold up your number so I can see them. So somebody is showing some other person the numbers and he cannot see them, so he'll say please hold them up, right? So then he can see them. Shh, I think there was a knock. Knock is what? Knock on the door. Look, dash Steve, you're going to break the window. Look, once we want to say careful, be careful, then we say look out, Steve, you are going to break the window. So this is on at this blank space we'll have to write out. And Tim's brother is dash on a trip at the moment. Tim's brother has gone away from some place, so we'll write Tim brother is away on a trip at the moment. Greg promised dash help Ian with his project. Greg promised to help Ayan with his project, right? So now we have learned how to use the prepositions to fill in the blanks. So I hope you're enjoying this. By the use of propositions, if you will keep on concentrating and if you'll listen to me carefully and you listen to till the end of this lecture, I'm sure that you'll be able to learn a bit more today, right? Then we go to onto the next exercise where we have to choose something. Uh, we have been given some choices and we have to. This is MCQ, multiple choice question. So choose A, B, C to complete the sentences. Harry met an interesting dash on the bus the other day. Throat, dragon, or fellow. We always rise. Harry met an interesting fellow, right? So we'll see it. We'll see. Our school closed last week because most students had the A sign, to B hill, or 3 flu. Schools normally get closed because of the viral diseases. So flu is a viral disease. So this will be flu. C here. I don't feel very well today. My head responds X and turns. We'll always say X. So we'll say B. There is dash for you, Mr. Smith. Handkerchief, package, or monster. There is always, whenever we want to tell somebody something has come up, something, or somebody has brought something for somebody, so and we don't know what is that thing, so we'll say a package. So it will be B. I've got a lot of work, but I need dash before I continue. I have got a lot of work, but I need to rest, afford, wave. It will be A, right? I want to, I need to rest before I continue. Lily is dash today and she didn't come to school. Lily is dash what? Lily is ill today. So we'll write A, loud or fine, right? So she's ill, that is why she didn't come to school. So we'll write ill or A here. Now, again, the follow-up activities. Do you think that the station master remembered the children or not? What kind of person do you think he is? I think he remembered them and he intentionally did not show that he remembered them and gave them a very good gesture of giving them oranges so that those childrens they can feel well and they are no more feeling sheepy or ashamed, right? What kind of person do you think is? I think that he is a kind type of a person, right? Would you think the old gentleman from the 9:15 train waved back? What would you do if you were on the train and saw the children waving from the hill? So whenever you see somebody waving you once you're traveling in the train, it's a normal courtesy that you wave them back, and especially if they are children, so you feel good. Whenever people are passing by the cars in which there are children, people wave at them. The same way, I would wave anybody who is waving at me. This a goodwill gesture, right? So you would definitely wave somebody, or especially the children if they are waving at you, right? What do you think of Bobby's decision to write to the old gentleman and ask for the help? What would you do in the old gentleman's place? It was very wise of Bobby to ask for the help of the old gentleman because he seemed very kind and nice, and he was the only hope that she had. So he wrote, she took a chance and wrote a letter to him, and he helped them. And what would you do in the old gentleman's place? I think you would also help if you are in a position where you can help others. You must help, and I think you will help, right? Do you think that the children will meet the old gentleman? Definitely, the children will. Children, they had very positive attitude, and they were very nice children. And so once they had promised that they will meet the old gentleman and try to repay whatever he has spent, they will definitely meet the old gentleman. Now imagine you are Bobby. Write a letter to the old gentleman to thank him for his help. This again 60 to 80 letter words. Words of letter of 80 to 60 to 80 words. So let's see that how we can write. I have written this: Dear Sir, I hope this letter finds you in the best of your health. The way I told you that most of the letters we start by this sentence. I wanted to thank you for your kind help. It was so generous of you to send us all the things needed for the treatment of my mother. I am sure that God will be very happy for your action. I assure that we shall repay you for your expenses whenever our father returns home. Your kindness has taught us that we should do such actions to others whenever they are in need. Thanking you again, your humble Roberta. Right? In this way, you can thank somebody, and why I have written your humble, because uh, when the actions of the old man has put a debt on her, and she thinks she stands very humble in front of him. Okay, so in these type of situations, you write your humble Roberta, right? आई होप यू एंजॉयड दिस लेक्चर. अगर हमारा लेक्चर पसंद आया तो हमें सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, और अगर हमें सब्सक्राइब कर लिया हुआ तो हमें लाइक ज़रूर किया कीजिए. हम उसे लाइक करने से आपके हमारा हौसला बढ़ता है. और अगर किसी अपने दोस्तों को या अपने कोलीग्स को या जानने वालों को अगर इसकी ज़रूरत हो हमारे इनकी, तो ज़रूर उनको हेल्प किया करें. ये सदका जारिया होता है. अल्लाह हाफिज़, खुदा हाफिज़.